Traka is one of the biggest gravel races in Europe, and every year hundreds of cyclists converge in Girona to compete against each other and challenge themselves on the rugged landscape of Girona. No doubt you'll have watched some videos from riders, but I thought in this video we would do something a little bit different and share it from the perspective of a bike shop. So as you all know, I'm Louise, one of the founders of Eat Sleep Cycle, and this week I've brought my other half, Lee, along to talk about the Traka. Say hi, Lee!
Hi everyone. I'm a little bit tired. It's been a really busy week. What would you like to know?
How did you prepare the Eat Sleep Cycle hub for Traka?
I think the first thing to know is that it's a lot of cyclists. There are around 5,000 cyclists, at least 5,000 cyclists that come to Girona for the Tracker. So, and also all gravel cyclists. So gravel specific items like tubeless repair kits, gravel tires, lightweight gravel inner tubes. What else? Hydration packs, everything that a gravel cyclist needs. We need a lot more of them. So we have to over order for the gravel week, and no matter how, for the Tracker week, and no matter how much we order, we always fall short, and we have to do top-up orders. And there's something really interesting about the Tracker week, and that's that the Spanish Labor Day falls right in the middle of the Tracker week. So there's no deliveries. And on top of that, this year, we had a blackout in Spain. You may have heard on the news that the electricity just went out at one point. So none of the payment machines worked, none of the computers worked, but we managed to get through it, and we kept selling with cash, and we kept the customers happy, and we kept them riding their bikes.
So what kinds of problems were you seeing from riders in the workshop?
The most common problems we see with people's bikes are, for example, a broken hanger, a broken rear derailleur hanger. Normally that's in transport or sometimes in the race, and a lot of people don't carry them. And as we know, gear derailleur hangers are very brand specific. So unless we're working with that brand, we can't really help them. That's difficult. The next most common problem, I'd say, is like misaligned brakes during travel, or they've gone out and basically they need their brakes adjusting or something like that. We've had a few broken wheels. That's because gravel riders are now riding carbon rims, and some of them are more suited to gravel riding rather than other wheels. And it's quite easy to fix that. That's just replacement wheels. And we have had a few cracked frames as well. And unfortunately, in that instance, it's kind of hire a bike or a different frame. It's safe to say the workshop is really busy. Everyone wants their problem fixing right now. No one can wait. We understand. And our mechanics worked around the clock to get everyone back, and more importantly, to their race so they could finish their race.
So talking about preparation in the cafe, we basically tripled our beer order. We ordered about 10 times the amount of coffee as normal, and we still kept running out of everything. So it was a very challenging week.
I think one of the biggest changes to Traka over recent years, especially this year, is we've seen people are coming to Girona for a longer period of time. So previously Traka just used to be 1 or 2 days, and now we see people arriving a week or even sometimes 2 weeks prior to the event. And then after the event, the days afterwards, they're hanging around, doing some more riding, wandering around, not knowing what they're going to do with the rest of their lives because Traka is over. Yeah, so that's really good for business and the bike shop, and we really appreciate it, and brings in extra business. And of course, everyone's looking for a souvenir. So after the race, people want something with Girona on it, or something with, specific to Girona, like the cathedral, and that's where our Eat Sleep Cycle merch works perfectly, which is nice.
One of my standout memories of the rain at Traka this year was we had a full terrace of people eating. It started to rain, and the entire terrace lifted up their plate, walked into the cafe, and continued with their lunch inside. And our cafe can seat inside about 20 people, and outside it seats 60. So there's some context.
Where do you think most people come from for the Tracker?
I met a lot of Americans on the terrace this year. Americans and Canadians were pretty predominant. There were also, of course, people driving in from all over Europe. So I would say it's a real international mix.
I agree. I think it's completely international. We're talking to a lot of German cyclists, Swiss, then they're driven down, the German ones particularly, French cyclists, very international.
So from the bikes you saw coming through the workshop, was there a common setup for the bikes, a common tyre width? What was your sense of what people were riding for the event?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the bikes seem to get better and better every year, and more premium and more expensive. So lightweight gravel race bikes, carbon wheels. wider and wider tires, I have to be honest. The people who are looking to get a podium position or be in the top 20, they're riding with less grip still. So they're riding like not slick at all, but semi-slick. Which this year would have gone really well because the first, the biggest race is 200 and 360. Even the 560, they were in dry conditions. But on the Sunday for the 100, it rained a lot, and a lot of people fell off potentially because they didn't have the right tire with enough grip. So
And what kind of gearing were people using?
yeah, I always thought that most people would be racing with the 1x, but there's actually increasing number of people with the 2x as well. So they're getting that kind of road bike gearing.
And was the gearing mostly electronic or still mechanical?
Mostly electronic, I would say. I would say mostly electronic, yeah.
SRAM or Shimano?
A mixture, even some Campagnolo.
Ah!
Yeah. Louise, what was your best-selling product in the cafe?
I think so. Before the races, most people were actually drinking a lot of coffee, a lot of sodas, a lot of kombucha. Reuben sandwiches were selling really well. And then post Traka, the beer was flowing. So we really had that sense that people were taking Traka quite seriously and really looking out for what they were eating before the ride versus what they were enjoying after the ride when it was all over. Tell me about what was the best-selling thing at Eat Sleep Cycle this year.
Best selling before nutrition, so much nutrition, people getting ready for the race. After the race, like Eat Sleep Cycle socks and t-shirts, people taking that souvenir home, I'd say.
Amazing.
Yeah.
At the cafe, also the volume of food that people were ordering went significantly up after the ride. So people were ordering avocado toast with 4 eggs and a side of Bravas, which we never get in a normal week.
But one thing I'm always surprised with is how unprepared cyclists are for the tracker when they come to Girona, because we have people buying lights and mounts for their GPS and, hydration packs. And I'm just thinking, you get just about to go and do 560 kilometers. Maybe you would have checked that you'd have a functioning light, making sure your bike is fully serviced before you pack it. Making sure you carry a derailleur hanger, you've got fully working lights, spare batteries, your GPS can fit, you've got all your bike packing bags completely nailed down in terms of exactly how you're carrying them. That would be my advice for tracker prep. Or don't do any of that. I come to Eat Sleep Cycle and buy it all the day before. That would also be great.
So how have you seen Tracker change over the years?
I remember the tracker in 2020 or 2021, first year after the COVID pandemic, and it was literally just people coming from Barcelona and the surrounding area. There were no people traveling from afar, from abroad, and the whole feel of the event was completely different. It was local, so that's nice as well. Thing is, the locals are still doing the race, but now it's completely different. It really is en masse, the amount of cyclists that come. The course has changed. The course used to be easier because it used to go over the Gavaras and then flat for a long time, and then Gavaras again. Now it had a big period in the Gavaras and a lot of climbing, and it really broke it up, which was safer because it broke up the big groups, which is what I think they were trying to do, but also it made it a lot harder for people. So I think some people are thinking it's getting quite hard for them as well. What do you think, Louise? How has it changed?
I think it's become such a huge fixture on the gravel calendar. People really are seeing it as this big international event, and it is, and it really delivers on that. And the organisation is really fantastic. So the guys at Classmark do an incredible job every year. And what I love, since they've started the event, was it 6 years ago? Don't know. Since they started the event till now, they've really always had that consistency of caring about the impact on Girona, about making sure it's positive, about making sure they're using it as a tool to get a positive message about cycling out there as well. And I just think that's really kudos to them. And I think for us, it's now become such an important part of our business every year. It's incredible to see how it's grown and then how it's supported businesses like ours to keep growing as well.
A nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think the main thing, like at the Eat Sleep Cycle Plaza, just such a nice atmosphere all the time. Cyclists everywhere, but having a nice time relaxing. And that kind of atmosphere and range of cultures and where people are from, I think, is a really beautiful thing for cycling to break down boundaries of different cultures, basically. So
one thing I saw that was really cool was a group of friends at one table at Eat Sleep Cycle, and they'd all done a different event. So one had done 100, one had done 560, one had done 200, but they all had this event in common, right? And that's a really unique thing about Traka, is that it's accessible to different people, right? You don't have to be an ultra athlete to come and experience Traka. You can actually just be getting started and be able to do 100K and take part. So it's a really cool event in that respect as well.
What's the thing that you heard the most that people enjoyed from Traka? Like, what's the number one?
The thing I heard people commenting on was the quality of the organisation being really, really great. And then, of course, just the standard of the route, the riding is incredible. And that really is the foundation of the Traka route. So that's something I heard people talking a lot about. How about you?
I heard a lot of people saying that the route is really beautiful, and that the course itself was challenging but really, really beautiful. And I think that's the amazing thing about the Traka is that really it is to introduce people to the whole area and the quality of the gravel riding in Girona, which you can come and enjoy all year round. You don't have to come during the Traka when there's 5,000 cyclists here racing. You can come at any other day during the year, and rent a bike from East Loop Cycle and just have an amazing time. There's always gravel cyclists around to help you and support you, to make sure that you can ride with people. So that's the great thing here, is that really the track is promoting just how good gravel cycling is in Girona.
So one of my favourite stories from the Traka 560 this year is Anna, a local rider, actually competed in it and finished. And I'm on the WhatsApp chat with the group, and the amount of support she was getting from the other local riders was incredible. So she rode through multiple nights, she powered on, and then different riders would join her at different points to give her support to make it through to the finish. And she's someone that's started cycling a few years ago, she's relatively new to the sport, and she's taken part in the 560 and she's finished it. And that for me was just an incredible achievement. So huge kudos to Anna, it's inspiring.
So hopefully you've enjoyed this video with my appearance in it as well. Please put a comment below whether you'd like me to be in more videos or not. Probably you wouldn't, but you never know. And if you are planning on coming to Traka in 2026, check us out, get in touch, because we can help with a rental bike or we can help with your trip. And we really look forward to seeing you in Girona soon.
And if you'd like to experience Traka outside of the Traka event at any other time of the year, then please do reach out. We put together custom packages all of the time, and we would love to help make your gravel trip amazing. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.